When you think about what really drives India's economy, what comes to mind? Probably the big famous companies, right? Well, today, we're pulling back the curtain on the real engine of growth, the millions of smaller businesses that form the true foundation of the entire nation. Okay, let's just jump right in with a huge number, 30%. That's a massive slice of India's entire gross domestic product, all coming from this one sector. It's absolutely enormous. And if you thought that was big, get this, 40%. A whopping 40% of the country's total exports. So we're not just talking about businesses that power the economy at home. These guys are major players on the world stage. So this all begs the question, right? Who is this powerhouse behind these incredible numbers? It's definitely not just the giant corporations we're always hearing about. The answer, and it's a big one, is millions and millions of small businesses. We call them MSMEs, that's micro, small, and medium enterprises. And honestly, they are the true backbone of the economy. They're the unsung heroes we're going to talk about today. But their impact goes way beyond just those big numbers on a spreadsheet. I mean, they're huge job creators. They make sure economic growth isn't just stuck in the big cities, spreading it out across different regions. They also provide really crucial support to larger industries. And maybe most importantly, they light that fire of entrepreneurship all across the country. Okay, so to really get a grip on this, we need to know what we're talking about. What exactly is an MSME? What makes a business micro, small, or medium these days? You see, before 2020, the whole definition was kind of complicated. But then the government came in and introduced a much simpler, more modern approach. Now, it all boils down to just two things: how much money is invested in things like equipment and machinery, and what the business's annual revenue is. Simple as that. And this table here lays it all out beautifully. It's super clear and logical now. So for a micro enterprise, you're looking at an investment of under 1 crore and a turnover under 5 crore. For a small one, those numbers jump up to 10 and 50 crore. And one of the biggest changes, a real game changer, is that these same rules now apply to both manufacturing and service businesses. That just simplifies everything so much. Now, this new definition, it wasn't just some minor tweak for the sake of it. It was absolutely critical, because the old way of doing things was actually holding businesses back, believe it or not. So get this, under the old rules from 2006, the investment limits were ridiculously low. So low, in fact, that a lot of businesses were genuinely scared to grow. Think about that. If they bought new machinery to expand, they'd risk crossing that tiny threshold, and boom, they'd lose their MSME status and all the support that came with it. It was a system that basically punished success. And don't just take my word for it. The finance minister herself said it perfectly. She said the old system was, and I quote, killing the urge to grow. It was creating this fear of expansion. I mean, when the system itself is punishing ambition, you know something has to change, and fast. So to support these businesses, the government did have a plan. There was already a legal framework in place, the Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises Development Act, the MSMED Act, which dates all the way back to 2006. And the mission of this act, well, it's pretty clear and really powerful. It's all about promoting the creation of new businesses, helping the existing ones to develop and grow, and, crucially, enhancing their ability to actually compete in the modern economy, not just tread water. And this act provides some real, tangible help. For example, it protects small businesses from big buyers who pay late, which is a huge deal. It also aims to cut through all the red tape, simplifying things like registration, just making it fundamentally easier to do business. And you can really see this push for simplification when you look at how registration has evolved over the years. Before 2015, it was all about complex, paper-based forms. Then, in 2015, they moved online with something called the Udyagadar Memorandum. And now, since 2020, we have the Udyam portal, which is a completely streamlined self-certification process. A huge leap forward. So, okay, we've got these new, clearer rules and a much simpler process. The big question is, how does all this actually empower these unsung heroes for the future? Well, the new definition brings some major benefits to the table. First off, businesses can now invest and scale up without that constant fear of losing their MSME status. That's huge. Then there's this incredible incentive for exporters. Any money they make from exports doesn't count towards their turnover limit. That's a massive push to sell globally. And what's the end goal of all this? It's all designed to attract investment and, most importantly,
create more jobs.
So when you boil it all down, the big takeaway here is that all these changes are designed to do one simple thing: empower the smallest of businesses to think big, to grow into the economic giants of tomorrow. It's about finally stopping that, killing the urge to grow. And that leaves us with one final exciting question to think about. Now that the shackles are off, now that growth is actually encouraged instead of penalized, just how high will these millions of businesses fly? How are they going to reshape India's entire economic story? The potential, honestly, is just immense.